Hello, and welcome back to my journey from normal to Norway. So it's been a week already, which has flown by. Actually, a little longer than a week. So it's Thursday night, and yeah, it's hard to believe that I've been back from Norway for yeah, a week and a couple of days now. That has happened so fast. Um, but anyway, let's see. I kind of just wanted to check in. I do have a couple of thoughts. Um, One thing that was really cool that I wanted to share was a few nights ago, I had a conversation with a friend of mine that was so great and so needed. Um, and so she and I, she's asking how my trip went, and we were talking about that. And, one of the things, if you watched my last video, that I kind of talked about was kind of the idea of like what now, and so what is, I guess, the purpose of all of this, and so now that I've, like, the dream for 2.5 years was, to get to Norway, and it's like, well, I've been there now, so now what does it mean, what part does it play in my future? And so I was kind of questioning that and thinking about that. And she kind of like a therapist, walked me through some things. She asked, what were like feelings that I got, throughout this whole process, starting from, the moment that I decided, like, yes, this trip is going to happen, and, through it actually happening, and I was kind of, saying things like independence and freedom and, um, you know, pride, being proud of myself, and excitement, and all of these things. And and kind of from there, walked me through some things, and um, just kind of got to the point of seeing the possibility of, like, maybe that is enough to be the point, to be the purpose of it. Just the fact that I did it, that I went, that it doesn't have to be bigger than that, or mean more than that, that is a lot, that is enough. um and so that was really exciting, and that was really helpful. It kind of helped me to um pause and really appreciate um there, and being there, and having done this. And so I'm really glad for that, and grateful for her and for that conversation. um Another kind of cool moment from it, I misunderstood, I think, one of her questions at one point, and it was something like where I thought she was asking, like, okay, well, what if this is it? And in my mind, I immediately kind of thought of, like, oh, like, it's the end of Norway in my life. And I immediately had this, like, sadness about that, and I said to her, I was like, I'd be really sad if that was the case. And but then she went on to explain what she meant, and I realized it was something else. But I just really appreciated that moment, because it pointed out to me my clear feelings on not wanting my journey with Norway to be over. So yeah, I don't know what part it actually plays, in my future, but it's something. It's still there, because, I very clearly got the feeling that I'm not done. So that was exciting. And so, yeah, so that's kind of purpose in one sense. Kind of, I've just been thinking more about the purpose of the trip and this whole experience. And that's something that will continue to, you know, process in my brain, I'm sure. Um, but then another kind of cool thing, just kind of thinking more about purpose. Um, was I was watching a sermon online last night that was talking all about purpose and our purpose, and it kind of like started to intersect with the idea of storytelling, which you know that I love. I love that. And also from the video when I talked about the period of situational depression and PTSD in my life, one of the things I mentioned was a feeling of purposelessness, you know? And so storytelling and purpose have been big subjects in my life in recent years. And so I just really enjoyed hearing all about this, and it kind of fired me up a little bit, and it really made me think about, you know, what I'm doing here with these videos and this channel, and kind of my hopes and dreams for the impact that it, you know, could have. And yeah, there were some things said that really stood out to me, and so I thought I would share them. And so, you know, he was talking about, you know, we all have a past, you know, and you know, he said a couple of times, you are not your past, you have a past. And I think that's important to, you know, kind of remember and to note and to think about. But also, you know, I think pasts are oftentimes, at least in my experience, things that people see negatively and have shame about and want to kind of hide or keep in secret or forget, or, you know, all of that. And I just loved through this, you know, he brought up that no, pasts are important. And one of the things he said that was really powerful for me was, your past can give someone a future. And that might sound extreme or whatever, maybe to some of you. But to me, that was such an amazing thought, that my past, as much as I've hated it at times, honestly, and wished it wasn't mine, if I am brave enough to share it, to share my story, that it might help somebody else, and it might actually lead them to have a future that they couldn't imagine having. And that's amazing. That's so humbling. That's thrilling, honestly. And I hope that it's true. I hope that my life, that me owning my past and sharing my past, honestly and vulnerably, will provide hope and a future even for somebody or some people out there. That would be amazing. Yeah, that would be fantastic. If that was part of my life, I would love that. Also, another kind of idea that he was talking about was, one other phrase to kind of think about for your past is your once was, you know, because you can say, I once was in this place, I once was feeling this way, I once was experiencing this thing, I once was doing this thing, you know, that your once was is somebody else's right now. And your right now can be an inspiration to them, can give them hope. And I think that's a beautiful thing. So it's kind of putting that same idea in other words, that, you know, if you out there are currently right now in a place that I once was, that hopefully if I share my once was with you, and then you feel like you can relate, that you're not alone, you're not the only one, you can believe when I say I get it, I understand, and I've been there. And then also, if I continue to share my right now as I grow and progress and push forward, that it could give you hope that my once was, that is your right now, could also become your once was. I hope that's not confusing. That if you're in a hard place, that you can get out of it, that it will pass, that you can climb your way out, and continue to move on into a better future, that is there for you, that it's possible. That thought, again, is thrilling to me. I hope that that's something that this channel and these videos achieve. That my story and me sharing my story can be a help, can be of service to somebody out there, that can provide a hope and a future. That would be so, so, so amazing. So anyway, I guess that'll be kind of it for tonight. Just really thinking a lot about purpose on several levels. You know, the purpose of life and the purpose of storytelling and the purpose of Norway for me. And yeah, so that's it. That's where I'm at. I'll be back again to talk with you soon. And as always, until then, ha det!